Hello and welcome. We're going to be talking tonight about biohacking your body. I'm Dr. Jessica Bueller. I do chiropractic, NATE, and acupuncture in Central South Dakota. And Joy Huss, who is a nurse, was supposed to be on with me tonight to give her testimony regarding her daughter. But she had a family emergency and is unable to get on tonight. So I'm going to briefly sum up her testimony, and then we will have her get on here a different time to explain in more detail, because her testimony is pretty phenomenal, and it's not nearly as touching coming from me as it would be coming from her. But she and her wife adopted this little girl who is now 4 years old. And since she was 18 months, she's had behavioral issues. I guess you would say, like major meltdowns. She has some video recordings that are just insane. There's just no explaining it. She had attention and also affection issues as well. It was hard for her to give affection and receive affection, both. But anyway, so she was what would be considered on the scale with behavioral disorders, I guess you would say. Anyway, she when they adopted her, the mom of the birth parents had a history of schizophrenia and bipolar disorder as well. So there's definitely some, background of some imbalances as far as brain chemistry goes and whatnot. And so this company was introduced to them, and I had spoke with Joy. Obviously, she understood the science behind what your guys are going to hear about in just a few minutes. But was hesitant because their daughter's only 4 years old, and we don't have any research that's done on children yet on our products. And so, based on her age, I recommended that they use half of the dosage of our Vitality Stack, and that's what they have been doing. So if you look at our Vitality Stack packets, which we'll be talking about in a bit as well, there's 4 products: NRF2 Protandem, NRF1 Protandem, Omega Plus, and ProBio. And she did the half of that dose every single day. And within a week, they could already tell a change in her behavior. And now at 4 months, she is able to, to snuggle, to show affection, to say what she likes and dislikes. She's not having meltdowns. It's really been a transformation for them in their life. And so what I'm going to do is explain the products. So it was Joy's job to get to explain her testimony, and it's definitely more powerful coming from them. But it's been life-changing for their family, and definitely for this 4-year-old girl. And there's lots and lots of people that we know that deal with different issues. The other thing, along with the Vitality Stack, she does drink some of the Axio drink and likes the raspberry flavor. But they don't do that consistently every day like they did with the Vitality Stack. So what we're going to talk about is oxidative stress. And so what basically started this company is a product that deals with oxidative stress. And what happened is in 2005, there was an ABC primetime report that was aired investigating this product called Protandim Nerve 2 Synergizer. And what this ABC primetime report did was reinforced what one peer-reviewed published study that was funded by the company had already proven, and that was that they could reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So what is oxidative stress? So if we look at this visual over here, we have the oxidizing of the apple, right? We start to see that rusting of the engine, the deterioration of the cell, the cellular damage. And we can have, we have free radicals that are released in normal everyday processes. When we move, when we breathe, when we digest our food, we release these free radicals. But we also release them in higher quantities when we're exposed to toxic situations, different forms of radiation, stuff in our food, in our drinks, in our air, just lots of different ways. And so free radicals are basically these charged particles that when they bump into our cells, they cause damage, and they aren't picky what kind of cell that they bump into. So when we look at this diagram, you can see that it's just a matter of where the cells are that are being impacted, that what kind of symptoms or conditions you could have that could result. So when you look at your eyes, we're talking cataracts and degeneration. When you're looking at your heart, hypertension, myocardial infarctions, eczema, psoriasis, asthma, COPD, allergies, Alzheimer's, autism, ADHD, inflammation, autoimmune disorders, atherosclerosis, diabetes. There's just so many conditions. In fact, almost all conditions, not all, but many, many, many conditions have an underlying link with oxidative stress. They have oxidative stress available. So if you have a symptom, condition, or disease, and you wanted to know if oxidative stress could play a role in that, you could go to where doctors do their research. It's a site called pubmed.gov, pubmed.gov. And you could search in there, you could put in whatever your condition is, eczema and oxidative stress, whatever it is you wanted to search, and you could find out if oxidative stress is something that's linked to what you have going on. So, but why should you care is the fact that oxidative stress is also linked to aging. So every single person has some amount of oxidative stress. And it's not that we're going to stop you from aging, you're still going to age. But if you have less cellular damage, you might age a little more gracefully or with less issues going on. So what is the solution for reducing oxidative stress? So the thing that has been studied since the 1950s to reduce free radical damage are antioxidants, and study after study was performed trying to prove the different antioxidants, vitamin C, E, selenium, you name it, that if we could supplement with enough of them that we could reduce that oxidative stress load. But none of them proved to be sufficient. And what we found is that antioxidants, like the fruits and vegetables that we eat, or superfruits and super vegetables, which have even more antioxidants, all work on a 1-to-1 ratio. So you eat one, it balances out one. So antioxidant per free radical. But with our NRF2 protandem activator, what happens is it activates a pathway in our body that makes your body make its own antioxidant enzymes. So we start producing them at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second. Yes. So it makes sense if you look at this. It's sort of like if we were eating antioxidants, it's like taking a Dixie cup of water and putting it on a fire. Where if we could just turn on the fire hose every room in the house at one time, that's what our NRF2 activation is. It's turning on your body's own production of antioxidant enzymes. So with NRF2 protandem, there's a synergy where the action of the components is greater than the sum. The action of the components together is greater than if we just took the parts separately. So you can see our control, and then we have the components: ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, milk thistle, and curcumin. And then we have this really big one on the end, which is our protandem product. And what they found was that when all 5 components were put together in the exact component that the exact amount that they were in, which was a very small dosage, they found an 18-fold increase in the expression of these antioxidants, 18 times the effect. We're endorsed by major universities and organizations who have all done their own self-funded research on our products, backing up what we've already been told and was investigated in that ABC primetime report. And this study, published in 2015, said that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. So NRF2 is actually a protein messenger within every cell. And when we activate the cell by taking this product, that protein messenger becomes activated and it attaches to our DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. In this case, there's estimated 200 genes, human genes that are affected. Or more, but one of the genes that is affected is our body's own production of antioxidant enzymes. So we start producing them at that rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second, which is how we actually get a reduction in oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. And there's also a cumulative effect. So the longer we take it, the more the benefit. In fact, by 90 days, they're seeing closer to a 70% reduction. But we can combat that cellular stress, that cellular damage. There was also a study funded by the National Institute of Aging that showed that Protandim was the only natural product proven to extend lifespan. And on average, 7%. I mean, what would you do with 7% more of a healthier life? Right? So NRF2 helps to regulate your body's survival genes. And we have the NSF and BSCG stamps of approval. So we know that what we say is in the product in every single jar of it. And we also pass the athlete standards as far as passing drug screens and so forth. So that's one of the big problems that we need to address, which is oxidative stress, and which is what we also addressed with the 4-year-old, and why we saw improvements as far as her condition goes. But the second problem is something called mitochondrial dysfunction. And mitochondrial dysfunction is something you may have not heard about, but I'm sure at some point you heard about mitochondria, which are the energy producing part of the cell. And our mitochondria are basically the engine, right? So if we were looking at this like it was a car, the mitochondria is the engine. And we can see all these conditions that are often linked to mitochondrial dysfunction: epilepsy, Parkinson's, diabetes, cancer, autism, etc. So all of these things are not that common, although you probably have at least heard of them. But the most common sign of mitochondrial dysfunction is the person who is always tired. No matter how much they sleep, they're tired. They're tired and always tired because their cells are just not functioning at a very high capacity. So why should you care? Because you could, with this product, very similar to our NRF2 Protandim, we can activate the NRF1 pathway in the body. And when we do that, that NRF1 protein messenger that's within every cell attaches to our DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. In this case, we get ATP production and mitochondrial replication and mitochondrial repair. So that means we fix the old engine, we put more engines in the cell, and then we give them more fuel. So what we see is improved performance, better sleep. Cells are just functioning at a higher capacity. So it doesn't matter what the cell's job is. If your cell's job is to do digestion, if your cell's job is to help with respiration, you have all those functions happening at a higher capacity. So this helps to slow out cellular aging by supporting chromosome integrity. So we see a decrease in cell damage with our Protandim NRF2. And now with Protandim NRF1, we see an increase in cellular function. These two products, there is nothing like these two on the market. Instead of supplementing for a deficiency or trying to remove a toxicity, we are activating the body to function at a higher capacity. This stuff is so cool. And the science that validates these two products, there's nothing like it. Okay, third problem we need to address is a leaky gut, a gut that is not functioning the way that it should be. And we can do that with a product called Physique ProBio. So I want you to look at this graph on the side here too, and you can see these different conditions it shows that are present because of a leaky gut. But we can see issues involving the brain, the skin, the colon, the adrenals, the thyroid, the sinuses, the joints, the immune system, so many different things. We do not give our gut enough attention. Most people, when they think of their gut, they're really only thinking about whether they go to the bathroom or they don't, you know, and it's really so much more than just constipation or diarrhea or heartburn or upset stomach, that kind of thing. We see so many things that are a reflection of this, of these good bacteria, these microbiome. In fact, the gut is so important. It's been termed the second brain. And this gut-brain connection is so huge. So we really don't want to overlook this. 70 to 90% of our immune function comes from these good guys in our gut. And when our gut lining is not proper, things get to where they shouldn't be and directly into our bloodstream. And that's why we see so many allergies and autoimmune conditions. Our adrenals don't function quite right. And there are many neurotransmitters and chemicals that are also formed in our gut. We see serotonin. 95% of the serotonin that our bodies produce is produced in our gut, and only 5% in our brain. 50% of all the dopamine that we use is produced in our gut. I mean, this is important to every person, not just to the person that has a condition, symptom, or disease. So what makes our probiotic different is it has 6 billion strains of different strains that are beneficial for the small and the large intestine. But what makes it different are two patented technologies. One is called Biohack, which helps the probiotic, the good bacteria, to bypass the stomach acid and get to the gut where we need them to be, and slow releases them. So the ones that need to be in the small intestine are released first, followed by the ones that need to be released in the large intestine toward the end. And Wellmune is beta glucans, that are found in colostrum, which is a mother's first milk, and they act like a prebiotic, basically giving those probiotic food to survive on once they get there, to colonize your gut and give you all of those benefits. So the survival rate of most probiotics is 4%, but with our patented technologies, we have a survival rate of nearly 60%. This is a big deal. The fourth problem that we want to address is fatty imbalance, and we can do that with a product called Omega Plus. So fatty imbalance, most people are kind of afraid of fats, but really an American diet is high, really high in the wrong kind of fats, in bad fats, and we need more good fats in our diet. And this Omega Plus product has omega-3s for your brain, your cardiovascular, your skin, and your immune system, and omega-7s for weight management and metabolism, along with a bit of vitamin D. And it is so pure, it's traceable from boat to bottle. My kids love to chew this. I haven't had a single person ever report burping up fish taking this product. It's just really good quality fish oil. And we need fish oil in so many capacities. It starts the anti-inflammatory cascade in our body, and almost immediately becomes incorporated into every cell membrane, making your cells more fluid, which makes them easier to connect with each other. So in your brain, if we have more fluidity, the chemicals can connect and can communicate with each other faster. In our gut, it makes things slide through easier. In our heart, it makes your blood pressure not so high because there's more resilience in the vessels. There's just an powerful impact on every system in your body when you have good fats incorporated into those cell membranes. So this one was a big component to having as part of that vitality stack when we were looking at the health of the 4-year-old that we mentioned to start with as well. So Axio is an all-natural drink that helps with your energy and mental clarity. It's really a brain food. And so there are components in this that are designed to help the neurotransmitters in your brain get to the part of the brain that they need to go to. And Axio is something you can tell because of the delivery system, you mix the packet into water, you feel the effects almost instantly. And so this is not just an energy drink, although it falls into that category because it does have B vitamins in it, but it has magnesium, DMAE, Monterey pine bark, L-theanine, just so many brain activating components. So I want you to see this handwriting on the side here. This is after just a very short time. I think it's 2 weeks or less. It was like 10 days. This little boy with extreme ADHD, writing his words. Look at the clarity that happened taking just Nerve 2 and Axial. Made such a huge difference to your brain's potential. And really, honestly, if you have a brain, it deserves to be functioning at a high capacity. You need your brain to do whatever your job is for the day. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So this is really huge, this product. This is a skincare line that uses our Nerve 2 activation for helping with your skin. Your skin is your largest organ system. This is a 4-step program. And remember that there's that National Institute of Aging study that found that we were the only natural product to extend lifespan, to actually be anti-aging. And if we could do that with our Nerve 2 product from the inside out, why not have a product that could do the same thing from the outside in? And so here is our skincare line, which has given phenomenal results as well. And then based on on demand, we have a weight management line because people are always looking for ways to either lose weight or manage their weight. So we have in the middle there a protein shake with slow and fast release amino acids to help with appetite and protein, give you good proteins. And then we have a fat burn targeted at that visceral fat, the dangerous stuff that surrounds our organs. And really, we don't want to be there, but we can cleanse this out, basically, help your body to burn that for fuel instead of storing it around that midsection. And then we have that ProBio, which we already talked about, and also a product called Cleanse. And this cleanse is really good to help remove that gunk that builds up in our digestive system, and then also to help heal the lining up as well. So I recommend this cleanse, even aside from this whole weight management line, for every adult to do for 1 week of every month. And then we have Nerve 2 activation for a man's best friend, right? Pet tandem for dogs. So this came about because people were giving their animals Protandim Nerve 2 synergizers, and their animals' health was really drastically improving. And so they formulated Pet tandem for dogs to be specific to a dog's digestive system. So it helps with their joints and mobility, their hair or coat, their cognition, and uses the exact same technology and blend that we have in our Nerve 2 Protandim. And Nerve 2 Protandim has also been used on with horses as well, especially when you're talking for competition or for and when dogs, hunting dogs, they work hard and to recover fast from what they're doing. It's just makes a big difference. So those are the products. Right here, this is talking about getting started. So there's basically 2 ways to get the products: as a preferred customer or as a distributor. And as a distributor, you're basically just buying product so that you can use it, and then you're sharing the information with other people, and the company compensates you for doing that. So as a distributor, you can come on with a silver pack, gold pack, or platinum pack. But the other option is to not be a distributor, to not be the one that wants to share this with everyone, but to use the products as a preferred customer. And what you would do then is get the products at wholesale pricing, and you would just choose which products you want to use, and that's it. Also, these distributor bundles these packs that they buy are a one-time thing that is only initially. After that, every month after that, they just choose what they want to purchase as well. So we offer free shipping on our subscription stacks. So there's the True Science Skincare Regimen, the Vitality Stack in bottles, and the Vitality Stack in packets. And so when you have any of these in your subscription, then the whole subscription ships free. So you can have anything else in that order and also get that free as well. So the packets are nice. They're just portable and easy to take with you, but this is the stack that we were referring to at the very beginning of this, and you can really see how these 4 different components address 4 different issues, underlying issues, and that's where we see our results. So we don't claim to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any symptom, condition, or disease. We are really simply trying to address underlying issues: oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, leaky gut, and fatty imbalance. And when we do that, other things improve. And that's what we're looking to see, is just a healthier version of you. And for this family, it made a huge impact as far as their family goes. So these are the stacks. And this is all about timing. So very briefly here, if you were thinking at all about the distributor option, which not everyone is when they're first looking at this, but the timing is the right timing. There's a momentum that is happening right now where no one really knows about these products. And we barely talked about the science, and I would love to share more about the science with you. But the timing is right. We're early in the process where no one really does know about these products, and the products are very impactful and in a short period of time. So this is where we are. This is what a distributor typically is compensated monthly. And that's really all I have for you tonight. So I just want to thank you for coming and ask you to get back to the person who invited you to this presentation. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen. And if you should have any questions, like I said, get back to whoever invited you, and we will get those answered for you. Whoops.